Imagine the anticipation of a chilly January night in 2023 under the dazzling Monday Night Football lights. The Buffalo Bills were set to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals in a game that would etch its place in NFL history. But for now, let's hold off on the specifics and dive into a gripping tale that unfolded on that fateful evening, involving none other than Demar Hamlin, a player whose life took a profound turn during that unforgettable game. On that fateful day, two of the NFL's premier teams, the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, faced off, with much more on the line than just primetime coverage. That game held the potential to reshape the entire playoff landscape and pave the way to Super Bowl 57. What hung in the balance was the coveted #1 seed in the AFC, offering a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the postseason. Both teams entered that showdown on impressive winning streaks, having not suffered defeat for nearly 2 months. The timing couldn't have been better, as that pivotal clash unfolded in Week 17 on Monday night. The game kicked off with the promise of a thrilling shootout. The Bengals took the initiative, marching down the field in less than 3 minutes, resulting in a touchdown by Tyler Boyd. Buffalo responded swiftly with a 25-yard field goal from Tyler Bass. The atmosphere in the stadium was electric, so loud that one couldn't even hear their own thoughts. Then, a moment that would go down in NFL history as the most harrowing unfolded. Just over 6 minutes remained in the first quarter, and the Bengals possessed the ball. During the second play of the drive, Joe Burrow targeted T. Higgins. As he sought to gain extra yards, Damar Hamlin executed a tackle. Initially, everything appeared normal. Hamlin rose to his feet, adjusted his helmet, and then, without warning, collapsed on the spot. A sudden hush descended upon the stadium. Athletes, trainers, and medical professionals rushed onto the field within seconds. They initiated emergency CPR, and an ambulance arrived promptly. For nearly 20 agonizing minutes, Hamlin remained on the field, surrounded by teammates in disbelief. What was once a thunderous stadium had fallen completely silent. Hamlin received oxygen from first responders and was transported to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, located just 4 miles away. As the ambulance left the stadium at precisely 9:25 p.m., the broadcast became chaotic, and Joe Buck shared that the league had given the teams 5 minutes to prepare to resume playing. However, the players remained motionless, grieving their fallen teammate. Both head coaches consulted with officials, and Buffalo's head coach, Sean McDermott, made the decision to lead his team off the field and back to the locker room. Another half hour passed, and the game was officially postponed. Over an hour had elapsed since Damar's collapse, and the situation remained uncertain. Stefon Diggs, along with other teammates and Bengals head coach Zach Taylor, visited Hamlin at the medical center. Diggs had almost had to force his way in, stating that they needed to be there for their teammate. Finally, there was an announcement regarding Hamlin's status. He had suffered a heart attack on the field, but his heartbeat had been restored. He remained in critical condition, and the world waited anxiously for further updates. However, something extraordinary occurred during that night following the incident. Damar's charity, the Chasing Miss Foundation, received an overwhelming surge of donations. Before the Monday night game, the foundation had collected $74,000. By the following morning, thanks to over 119,000 new donors, that amount had soared to over $3 million. Subsequently, it continued to climb, surpassing $9 million and counting. Despite the outpouring of support, almost 3 days passed without any significant updates on Damar's health. Then, on January 5th, the NFL officially canceled the Bills-Bengals game, and the world received a hopeful update from the UC Medical Center. Damar had regained full neurological function, was breathing without assistance, could hold hands with his family, and communicate through writing. His first written question was, "Did we win?" To which the medical staff responded, "You won. You won the game of life." The next day, Damar's breathing tube was removed, and he could breathe independently. He continued to speak with his family and even conveyed his love to his teammates via FaceTime. This marked the first glimmer of hope in a story that had gripped the NFL and the world, a story of a player's miraculous recovery and the incredible support that rallied around him. Love for Demar was expressed in various extraordinary ways during this incident. Every single team in the league demonstrated their support during warm-ups by donning Love for Demar shirts. However, nothing quite matched the special gesture that the Buffalo Bills had in store for their final home game of the regular season. As the Buffalo players made their way through the tunnel, they were proudly wearing Damar Hamlin's number 3 shirts and hats. Highmark Stadium was filled with enthusiastic fans, and multiple players carried Love for Demar flags. The entire team adorned number 3 patches on their uniforms. Just before kickoff, the medical team that responded to Demar's collapse was also honored. Yet, the most remarkable moment occurred during the actual game. The New England Patriots won the coin toss but chose to defer, allowing the Bills to receive the opening kickoff. What transpired next was like a scene from a movie. Damar Hamlin, known as Demar, returned the kickoff, breaking a tackle and sprinting past midfield. The crowd erupted with excitement as they witnessed this storybook opening kickoff return. What made this moment even more unforgettable was that Demar watched it unfold live on TV while he was in the hospital. According to the UC medical staff, he celebrated vigorously, even getting out of his chair and jumping up and down, nearly setting off alarms in the ICU. It was a touching and emotional moment that set the tone for the entire game. The energy and support from the fans and players remained constant throughout the game, turning it into a truly special day. The Buffalo Bills secured a victory with a score of 35-23, bringing joy to everyone involved in this incident. After the win, the Bills FaceTimed Demar just minutes afterward. They also presented him with the game ball, a symbol of his incredible journey. But the recognition extended beyond Demar. It also honored the man who had saved his life less than a week ago, Danny Kellington, the Bills' assistant athletic trainer who had performed emergency CPR that fateful Monday night. Remarkably, just one day after the emotional regular season closer, Demar was able to return to Buffalo, thanks to remarkable improvements in his condition. On January 9th, exactly 1 week after the incident, he was discharged from the UC Medical Center and transferred to the Buffalo General Medical Center. His condition had improved from critical to good, and he was able to engage in physical therapy and even walk. From there, Demar continued his rehabilitation away from the hospital with the support of his family and teammates. Just one day before Buffalo's playoff opener against Miami, he visited his teammates, lifting their spirits and providing a much-needed emotional boost for a team that had endured this tragedy. Demar attended Buffalo's divisional matchup with Cincinnati 1 week later and delivered his first public speech since the incident. He expressed his immense gratitude for the love and support he had received from family, friends, and fans. Social media played a significant role in keeping everyone updated on his progress, with Demar providing updates on his personal Twitter and Instagram accounts and receiving support from fans and notable figures outside of the NFL. Throughout this entire journey, Demar's strength and appreciation for others were evident. He thanked all the medical staff who had assisted him and even created merchandise, with proceeds going to the University of Cincinnati Trauma Center. In the middle of the night, he even texted his teammate Tre'Davious White to apologize for putting the team through the ordeal. Since that miracle Monday on January 2nd, 2023, the world has had the opportunity to witness one of the most remarkable days in NFL history evolve into a tremendous outpouring of love and support, not only for Damar Hamlin, but also for the medical team that saved his life.